This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where dad is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. Anthony O'Neill, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host today as we answer your questions about your life and your money. Phone number is 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Sherry's going to start off this hour in Boston. Hi, Sherry. Welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Good afternoon. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
I am a retired teacher. My husband will be retiring in 4 years. He's a teacher also. We owe $45,000 on our house, which would be paid off by the time he retires. My question is, next June, we'll just owe $30,000 on the mortgage. Should I take $30,000 from my IRA and pay the taxes on that and then use the $30,000 to pay the balance of the house and then use the payments that we would have had from the mortgage to put into my Roth IRA?
What is your household income?
With my pension of $59,000, my husband makes $83,000, so we have $147,000.
Wow. Okay, good. And how much is in your IRA?
My IRA has $107,000.
Mm-hmm. Why, with that huge income, can you not just pay off the house out of your budget this year? We are cash flowing our daughter's college with Anthony's help. She got many scholarships and has them, but she is just a freshman in that, and we are paying off, cash flowing that.
How much is that?
Takes up a big amount. $33,000 a year that we're cash flowing.
Mm-hmm. Wow. But you said you make $140, right?
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, do you have any other debt, Sherry?
No, we do not.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Well, you're doing great. If it were me, I would not use the IRA to do this. Yeah. I would use some of your fabulous income. Yeah. You're cash flowing $33,000, but you've still got income room. Maybe we don't do it in 1 year. Maybe we do it in 2 years. But let's pay $20,000 a year for 2 years and be debt free. That's what I would do.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with him, Sherry, as well. I would take that up to $22,500 just to be right on the math at $45,000. But yeah, I would not touch my IRA. I would save that for retirement and just get aggressive with it. I'd rather you be aggressive over the next 2 years so you can enjoy the rest of it than to be comfortable the next 5 to 6 years. That's just in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a good move. Yeah. Good move. All right, Nathan is with us. Nathan is, I pushed the wrong button. Nathan is in Grand Rapids. Hi, Nathan. How are you?
Great, Dave. Hi, Anthony. Thank you guys for taking my call.
Sure.
I'm a 22-year-old master's student, and I currently have about $30,000 in student loans from my undergraduate degree.
Okay, your phone. Phone came out. You have how much in student loan debt?
About $30,000.
$30,000. All right.
Yes. I was very fortunate that I received a trust fund from my grandparents when I was in high school that I'll soon be able to access. At the time, it was worth about $33,000, and it has since grown to about $58,000.
Okay.
My question is whether I should use the money in that trust fund to immediately pay off all of my student loan debt, or if I should work and pay that student loan debt out of future wages and then have that trust fund continue to accumulate and use that as a down payment on a house.
When do you graduate?
Hopefully, as long as things go well, this coming spring, so spring of 2022.
How are you paying for this coming year?
So I received a graduate assistantship, which covers all of the funds or all the costs for college, and then I get a small stipend as well. Okay. So I don't have to pay for my graduate degree.
And what are you living on?
I'm living mostly on that graduate stipend, which is about $12,000 a year right now, and then I have a couple side gigs as well.
Okay, so you're not going into further debt.
Correct.
That's good. Okay, I'd pay off student loan debt today then.
Absolutely. Now, do you have any other debt though, Nathan? Any credit
no,
cards?
It's just from student loans.
Okay, so no credit cards, no car notes.
No.
Absolutely. I'll go ahead and cut that check today.
Yeah, I'll just be debt free, and then that still leaves you with $20-something thousand laying around in that trust fund that you can use to start your life with after graduation.
Yeah.
You use some of that for your emergency fund, and maybe some of that for maybe some of what's left over above that for your down payment on your first house.
Absolutely.
But no rush on the house. You're doing great.
Now, Dave, let me ask you a question. I'm pretty sure America's thinking, well, why not, Dave, let the other $20,000 sit in the trust and let it grow?
It could from now until graduation, but
Yes.
at that point, I would move it to an emergency fund and to a down payment fund.
Yes, sir.
And so it's invested is what it amounts to. You can leave it there.
Yeah.
But I'd pay off student loan today.
Absolutely.
Out of it and just be clear and make sure then that you have a plan for no additional debt.
Yes.
And it sounds like you got a plan for that. It sounds like you got we questioned you through that. We walked through it. So it sounds like you got a way to pull that off, and just make sure you stick to that plan.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes.
And America, the reason why Dave asks, hey, how are you going to get through the rest? Because then we would have said, hey, take that money and cash flow the rest of your college experience.
Yes.
Then when you graduate, take the rest of it to pay off your student loans and then go into baby steps 3 and 3B.
Yeah, because goal number one is no more debt.
Yes.
You can't. There's no sense in with the left hand paying off debt and with the right hand going back in it.
Right.
That's just you're just dog chasing its tail at that point. It's not you're not making any progress.
Yeah.
So it's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's the plan. And Anthony, he's done a really, really smart thing there. He's become an employee.
Yes.
In a sense of the school, and that sets him up to be doing graduate work for free.
For free. And when you look at it, I mean, I talk about this in my book, Dave, is figure out how can you work for the school to get a paycheck or to get your tuition reduced or free. And sometimes some schools, Dave, now are doing, we'll give you a small paycheck, like he said, $12,000 a year, and your tuition for free. That's a great program to go into. But here's the thing, Dave, people are not stepping back and doing their research to see what's out there.
And by the way, all the jobs at colleges that are universities that you can do that would allow you to go there debt free because you're an employee don't have to be glamorous.
Right.
You can be the janitor.
Yes, sir. Yes,
you can be the janitor for 4 years.
Absolutely.
And go to school for free and sweep floors or bus tables or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, you can be the guy working out there driving the lawn tractor, right?
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
With a weed eater.
Doesn't matter.
I don't care what you're doing.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't have to be like you got some kind of white-collar, high-tech job or something at the university. I just want you to be on their payroll so you get the employee benefit of free tuition.
That's it. Doesn't have to look good.
That's part of the debt-free degree plan.
Yeah. My philosophy is it doesn't have to look good to be good.
Ooh. This is the Ramsey Show. What makes our show unique is that we genuinely care about our listeners. We're intentional about choosing the best advertisers to recommend. Blinds.com is no exception. They offer high-quality window treatments at unbelievable prices, and they make it simple to shop blinds, shades, and interior shutters with easy online ordering, free shipping, and a guaranteed perfect fit. Go to Blinds.com and take advantage of this week's special savings. Anthony O'Neill, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. I'm Dave Ramsey. This is The Ramsey Show. We're glad you're with us. The phone number is 888-825-5225. David is with us. David is in Dallas. How are you, David?
Good. How are y'all doing today?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Yeah, quick question. My wife and I have been debt-free except for our house for the last few months. We have our savings plan saved up. We've gotten back into retirement savings and started saving for our kids' college. We have 3 kids. Our oldest is 14, and we didn't have much saved for really anything until the last few months where we started really focusing on college. So should we continue to do that and hold off paying the house or paying extra on the mortgage while we try to catch up college-wise, or should we still do 4, 5, and 6 at the same time?
You can do them at the same time, but you're probably going to have to focus on college out of that in order to make it, because you're getting a late start. You just got a few years, and you're going to have to be real heavy on baby step 5 and real light on baby step 6. Or you can do nothing on baby step 6 until you get through the college thing. That's okay.
Right.
Yeah. What are you thinking for college? Are we looking at in-state?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
So in-state, we're obviously in Texas. So
Yeah, your phone's cutting out. We're having trouble hearing you. Try again.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, definitely thinking in-state. We're in Texas with lots of options, but yeah, I kept going back and forth on whether doing a little bit on 6 or just focusing entirely on 5. And with your advice, I'm thinking it's probably best to just focus on 5 for the next few years at least.
I think you get the college thing behind you because it's right at your doorstep.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to end up with a mortgage and still be trying to cash flow some college.
Yeah. You got 4 years. What's your household income, real quick, David?
My wife and I combined are about $165,000.
Yeah, that's good, because the average in-state school in Texas is going to be right around $10,000 to $11,000. So I think over the next 4 years, just really buckle down, get about $40,000 in there. You should be straight, for in-state school.
Cool.
Yeah, and start training the kids that's their option.
Yes,
because you're not going to send them to a $60,000 a year school.
Absolutely,
you're not going to have the ability to.
Nope.
And so let me send you a copy of Anthony's book, Debt-Free Degree.
Yeah.
You can thumb through that, and it also kind of gives you a good conversational jumping off point with the kiddos.
Absolutely.
Go, guys, this is what we're doing. This is our plan. You're going to be working while you're in school, so you pay for part of it. You're going to be working right now to make sure your grades are stellar and you get trained up for your ACT tests, so you can get the points there. You get and qualify for more scholarships. You're going to do your part, and part of your part is go ahead and just set your expectations. You're going inside the state of Texas.
Yes. Yeah. You know what, Dave? One of my friends told me something when you just said set their expectations. Unhappiness comes from expectations not met. So if you start setting the kids expectations at this level, hey, you're going to in-state, they're going to be happy because you've already set the right expectation.
Yeah. Exactly. Unmet expectations.
Yes.
Lowered expectations are the secret to happiness. This is my golf game right here. So I'm happy just because I don't expect much, right?
That's true, man. I had to deep dive into that. I was like, that's pretty good. I like that. I was like, okay.
All right. I love it. Ray is with us. Ray is in Louisville, Kentucky. Hi, Ray. How are you?
Hello, Dave. It's a real pleasure to speak to you.
You too. How can we help?
Well, in late 2019, my income roughly tripled. A good problem to have. And in 2020, I got real aggressive with paying off debt. I was able to clear off a motorcycle debt, all credit cards, and the last 2 items are now a house and a car. But one of the things I also did over 2020 is I bought Bitcoin, and it's ballooned into this huge account now worth roughly $100,000. So one of the things I want to do with it is obviously pay off the car, but it's not quite enough to pay off the house. So I guess my question is, do I wait with this volatile asset, or do I sell it all and move it into something more traditional? Because over the course of 2020, I actually did the figures, and it's earned me 649%, and the expectations are that it could go even higher. Now, it's a volatile asset. It swings now every day. It was worth the swings now are more than it was worth a year ago. So I guess I'm just kind of nervous about keeping this large amount of cash in this volatile asset but still having to worry about a house that I'd like to pay off in the meantime.
Yeah, you got Vegas problems, man. I mean, you walked up to the slot machine, put a quarter in, and it dumped a bunch of quarters out, and now you have this temptation to think that's a plan.
Yeah.
And thus is the problem with anything that is a extremely volatile asset, to use your phrase, and also unpredictable, which is the volatility. So, you're asking me what I would do? I would cash it all out tomorrow. I wouldn't have been in it in the first place, though. So,
well, I'm single. I felt like I could afford to take the risk. I had a snowball plan for all the other items.
Yeah.
And the next two
Well, that's
items
what the guy told me when he was playing the roulette wheel too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I
can afford to lose the money, and I call this entertainment. And he lost. I stood there and watched him lose $10,000 and at the blackjack table. So, you can do whatever you want to do, but you're asking me what I would do. I wouldn't have been in it in the first place, and I wouldn't stay in it, and I would cash it out tomorrow, and I would put the money on some common sense things.
Yes.
Instead of playing, you're sitting here explaining to me all the problems with the investment.
Yeah.
And, you already know what you need to do.
Yeah.
You just want somebody else to say it out loud.
And he's trying to justify it with his age. Like, I'm young. I have time to lose money. I don't care, man. I'm young. I do not have
time to lose money. What's that mean? I can get over my stupid later?
Right. I'm in debt. I have a car that I probably, I want to say that. You probably can afford the car, but you couldn't afford the car because you financed it. But anyways, what I'm saying now is, I agree with Dave. Be young, be wise, cash it out, pay off the car, and
take your fabulous income and use that to build wealth with. That is a much more proven strategy to build wealth than playing volatile assets.
Yeah.
You buying gold or buying commodities or buying Bitcoin or buying currencies. There's a lot of volatile. You can do options. You could be playing, you can be selling short on the market. You can be day trading. There's all kinds of things you can do,
right,
and occasionally make money at it, and most of the time end up losing it all.
Right.
And Bitcoin is in that category. It's a high risk play.
And I don't know if the numbers have changed, Dave, but isn't it right around nearly 80% of people lose money
on day trading?
Yeah.
But Bitcoin, the Bitcoin's had a fabulous run in the last year, but that doesn't mean it's an investment you need to do.
Right.
Gold had a fabulous run for a while there, but that doesn't mean it's an investment you need to do.
Right.
These commodity plays and currency plays are just dangerous.
Yeah.
And so you do what you want to do, Ray. But I have zero money invested in that type of thing. I work too hard for it, and I really don't have any desire to lose it. The government takes enough of it without me losing it, and that it's a. But again, you're looking at the rate of return, and you're measuring that against your risk, and you're going to make that call.
Yeah.
But you ask us what we would do, and that's what you'll get here, is we're an expert on our opinion. Here at Ramsey Solutions, we want to transform so many lives that disruption spreads like wildfire across our country. Imagine a world where it's weird to have a student loan, where people pay cash for their cars, where the credit card has become the cigarette of the financial world. Imagine getting a job you love because you've been listening to Ken Coleman. Imagine being part of an organization that causes that level of disruption with the work you do every day. At Ramsey Solutions, that's why we have 1,000 people at our company working together to create digital products. If you want to join us on that crusade, we're on the hunt for software engineers, Ruby on Rails, Java, C#, front-end technologies. If you're a UX designer, SEO, content marketing specialist, product specialist, we'd love to talk with you. We're going to hire about 300 folks this year. Find out about all the available jobs by texting Work That Matters to 33789. Work That Matters to 33789. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, Eric and Alicia are with us. Welcome, guys. All right, how are you?
We're awesome, Dave. We're blessed.
Good to have you. Where do you guys live?
Ocala, Florida.
Oh, cool. And welcome to Nashville. How much debt have you paid off?
About $379,000.
Ho, ho! How long did this take?
Just over 8 years.
Wow, very good. And your range of income during that time?
We started at only $36,000. We ended up around $150, somewhere in that range.
Wow. What do y'all do for a living?
Well, right now we're in real estate. I'm in real estate, and Alicia is a work-at-home mom.
Very cool. Very cool. So I'm guessing with that amount of money, that length of time, you paid off your house.
We have a paid-for house, Dave.
I am looking at weird people.
That's right.
I love it. Well done. What's this house worth?
About $300,000.
Very cool. Very cool. You have a paid-for house.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You have a paid-for house.
Yes.
That's so cool, y'all.
It is.
That is so cool. Well, tell us this story. What happened? I love your T-shirts, by the way.
Thank
The
you.
turtle always wins.
Turtle always wins. And the shell.
He's
it's
got a
paid
paid-for
in full.
house.
Oh, a paid-for shell. All right, I got it. Okay, I get it now. All right, very neat.
So when 2012, we had a financial crisis, and I was a teacher at the time, and we had a low income, and I always had the conviction that Alicia would work from home and have our kids at home, and Alicia had a miscarriage twice, so we had all the expenses of a baby twice with no baby, and so we had medical bills piling up, we had credit card debt, we had car debt, we had a mortgage, I mean, just everything you can think of, and I was actually taking a class from a coworker, and she kept saying, Dave Ramsey this and Dave Ramsey that. I think, who the heck is this Dave Ramsey guy? And
what's his problem?
And so I went up to her. I said, is there a book I need to get or something? She said, you've got to get the Total Money Makeover. So I drove straight to the Christian bookstore. I bought the Total Money Makeover, and it was like somebody throwing me a life preserver while I was drowning.
Wow.
It was life-changing, for sure.
Absolutely.
And then Alicia read it.
Yeah. So I'm not, I'll be honest, I'll give me a novel, I'll read that.
Yeah.
More than so I looked at your book, and I'll be honest, I was like, not sure if I want to read this. So I started, and I loved it. I loved it. And I tell every person that, because we give these books out like candy to whoever we can.
Thank you.
And, so whenever I tell people, they look at the cover and they're like, oh, I not really want to read this kind of book. But what got me are the testimonies. I love just seeing, that was my favorite part, just seeing the testimonies of the people that were there. And that's why today is such a big day for us and exciting, because I was waiting for this day when I can be a part of those testimonies and be on the other side and say, we're here, we did it, and you can do it too.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You often ask who your biggest cheerleaders are, and Alicia says all the time, you guys were. We didn't have a lot of people. That dog look, or the dog look
the
that you talk
confused
about?
German Shepherd?
Yeah. We get that look a lot, because we're battling up against the culture, and it's no small thing. But you guys have been such an encouragement to us, the podcast, the books, the YouTube show.
And there's actually a picture in the pictures that we sent, because we flipped houses and in this journey, and every time we'd flip a house, it helped us move forward. And in one of those, we were on the third house, we're packing boxes, and I'm like, we're doing this again, oh no. And so I was like, I needed some kind of encouragement because I was tired. So on the TV, we put on the YouTube show, and that's the picture right there. And look what it says up there. It says, being debt-free is worth the sacrifice. And that was the moment. I was packing.
Wow.
And that podcast, that just having you on got me through that time.
Wow.
Because I was like, we can do this, and it's going to be worth it.
Now, if you live like no one else, later you can live and give like no one else.
Yes,
right.
And God's been so
debt-free.
faithful.
House and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and another thing that was really encouraging was this was back at podcast we listened way a while ago, is you talked about, you sat down with a millionaire and you asked him for a book and a reference, and he said that you gave him the tortoise and the hare. He gave you the tortoise and the hare book, and that has really been our mantra and just kind of what's got us through, because it is a gazelle intensity, and when you think gazelle, you think fast, right? But it's not always fast. Sometimes you got to just, the turtle, and you're still going. We're still going to do this and not give up, because you see all these other people and all, everything going on around you, and people want you to spend, and people want you to, live like everyone else. But it was just the turtle. We always kept that. The turtle always wins. We're going to get there. And God was faithful. And he brings those what you say, like those movable sidewalks.
Yeah, it's like that focus intensity, that gazelle intensity that you talk about so much. It's like, I love that analogy. If you start moving in the right direction, and it's like God puts that moving sidewalk under you, and somehow you get there faster.
Yeah.
You know, and there's power in those principles. I mean, do not be weary in doing good, because in due time you will reap a harvest if you don't give up. And so that's kind of our mantra. It's a marathon and not a sprint. And that's why we made the shirts, because you know, you got to have that big why, and you got to have big goals, and you know, you just got to keep focused and have that intensity along the way.
Yeah. So I'm curious though, over 8 years, to the people listening right now, they're like, yo, that's a long time. And they sound like it was so easy, but I know that it wasn't. I'm curious for the people listening, what was the hardest thing that you all had to endure, and how did you all get through that season?
I think a lot of it, we had an income problem. You know, you often talk about, you know, we had a spending problem, but we also had an income problem. And I think that was just all the hard work, all the hustle. I mean, we sold cars for a while. We sold dog treats. I got licensed to sell life insurance. We gave music lessons, you know, and I finally settled on real estate, and now Alicia's running a cleaning business, new construction cleaning business. But it was just all that hard work, hustle. You know, we worked day and night, and you can't keep that up forever. You know, at some point, like you guys talk about, you got to let off the gas a little bit. You know, but if you've got a big enough why, and you've got those goals ahead of you, you can force yourself to do quite a bit. And we just hustled, and that was probably the hardest part. Is just the sacrifices that you make along the way. You know, not just not eating out and those kind of things, but just your time, just working all the time. And I would have to say that that's probably it. But we had a lot of encouragement. I mean, even my son, he started a business along the way. He was 6 years old, and he was inspired by all the hustling we were doing that he wanted to start a business. So,
I love it.
So, you know, at 6 years old, he's starting this little business.
That's cool.
And I remember at one point, he had only $20 that he had. He brought it to us. He said, "Daddy, I want to give you this to you as part of the Get Out of Debt Fund."
Hey, let's get them in the shot for the debt-free scream. What are their names and ages?
Noah, and he's 11, almost going to turn 12.
All right.
He wants everyone to know that.
Very cool.
And Mercy is 7.
Well, we are proud of you guys. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How's it feel now that you're there?
Yeah.
How do you feel?
How do you feel?
It's
Feel
nice
good?
being out of debt and not having another bill every month.
I think he's going to make it.
Yeah, I think so too.
I love it. That's so cool. Well done. All right, it's Eric and Ashley.
Happens all the time.
I'm sorry.
No worries.
I can't get it out. Alicia, Noah, and Mercy from Ocala, Florida. They paid off their house and everything. $379,000 in 8 years, making $36,000 to $150,000. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. Glory to God, we're debt-free!
This is how it's done. Wow. Woo-hoo-hoo.
That's fun.
8 years.
Yes.
But they don't owe anything.
Nothing. I mean, no mortgage.
Those kids' lives are changed. Their grandkids' lives are changed. Their grandkids' lives are changed.
Absolutely. And when they got done screaming, I watched Noah turn around and hug his father. Like that just means his life and the little one has changed.
Yeah. That's exactly how it works. Well done, you guys. Well done. We're so proud of you.
Wow.
Excellent, excellent stuff. Wow. This is The Ramsey Show. Anthony O'Neill, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. This is The Ramsey Show. Thank you for joining us. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Rachel is with us in Anchorage, Alaska. Hi, Rachel. Welcome to The Ramsey Show. How can we help?
Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
My husband and I, we worked through the baby steps. We're on baby step 7. We paid off our house. We have a self-employed aircraft maintenance business.
Great.
And our current agreement with the building owner is to rent it for one more year and then purchase it a year from now for $250,000. So we've been stockpiling cash for that. So we have about $200,000 saved.
Great.
To buy the building.
Great.
So in the meantime, I've been watching, and I found a residential property that I've been watching for a number of years is for sale, and I want to buy it.
To live in?
So to buy a house on, to build a house on. So I'm trying to figure out the best value of our money, and can we do both?
Well, you can do whatever you want to do, I guess. But should you do both, or what? I don't borrow money, you know that. And I certainly got to baby step 7. And I'm finally debt free. I'm not going back in debt. There's nothing I want that bad.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I would like to acquire as an investment, or to grow, or to do things with this business. But if I don't have the money, I can't do them because I don't borrow money.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess what I'm wondering is, are buying the building for the business, is that considered a personal investment property?
Yeah, I mean,
because you would say to pay cash for a personal investment property. So
I say to pay cash for everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, whatever I'm going to do in this scenario, I'm going to pay cash for. Yeah. And if my cash is limited, which is always the case, right? We always have a limited amount of cash. And then my choices are limited to that cash. So let me ask you this. What's the other piece of property is a piece of raw ground?
Correct.
How much is it?
$230,000.
$230,000.
What's your household income? What do you make in a year? Taxable income?
Our adjusted is about $80,000.
Okay. So you're going to do one of these and you're not going to do the other anytime soon anyway.
Right.
What I was thinking of is plopping down a little bit on that land as an option for a year and try to scratch some money together, but you can't do it in a year.
No.
And I don't know how long an option they would consider on that piece of land, but you've got an option on the building that's going to expire. We know what that is.
Will purchasing this building for your business, will it help you expand as far as in bringing in more revenue?
We'd have to hire more employees, and we're not sure we're ready for that.
Oh.
But you're buying it. You're already in the building using it.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah, so really what it saves you is what you're paying the landlord in rent. You become your own landlord, right?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
That's a interesting one.
Yeah, I'm buying the building if it's me.
Okay.
Because I know what I've got there, and you can buy either one. I'm just thinking because the land, when you buy it, it's not gonna create any cash change in your life.
Right.
There's no return on investment other than you're going to build on it someday and enjoy it, but there's not a mathematical transaction where you're going to get money as a result of buying this land. You are going to get money as a result of buying this building, and that's the savings on what would have been rent, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so that's how I'm making that decision, but it's up to you. I mean, how much is the rent on the building?
$2,500.
Now, $30,000 a year.
Yep.
See, that's 35% of your household income.
I'm right there, Dave. I'm right there with you. I'm buying the building, Rachel.
Yeah.
Okay, we're buying the building.
Yes.
It's because it's $30,000 a year.
Yeah.
Right.
Swing on this. Now, I would talk to that landowner, and I would consider renting that land with an option to purchase it for 5 years or something like that to try to get it tied up. And meantime, start piling up cash and then pay cash for that land, right?
Right.
But I mean, if you could give them $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 or something, and so much a year for renting the thing or something like that, for the option to buy it, and that option money applies to the purchase price, and say, I want a 5-year option to buy, and I'll give you $30,000 for that or $20,000 for that, and tie it up, and just see if they'll do it. I mean, they may let you do that. Then you get to park that, and then it's like a layaway plan for land, right?
Yes.
Right. Yeah. If we have the money sooner, shall we purchase the building sooner? Or should we wait till our agreement of a year from now?
Oh, I buy it as soon as possible because it does away with the $30,000 a year expense.
Heck, I mean, he may not accept it, but I'll offer him $200,000 cash right now. May or may not accept it, but it doesn't hurt to try and see. Cash deal.
Yeah.
So, we can do the $250, but it's going to be a little while longer. If you want to close it right now, we'll do $200.
Yeah.
Okay.
Worst thing you do, say no.
Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes people need cash, and you don't know it, and it's just a powerful thing. It's a powerful purchasing thing. Yeah. So, wow, good stuff. Way to go. You're doing so good, Rachel. Baby steps. These are great problems to have.
It really is.
I have no debt at all.
Yeah. Land or a building.
And I have $200,000 saved.
Yeah.
This is horrible. I don't know how she's getting through.
I did.
It's great. Way to go, girl. I'm just so proud of you.
I'm devastated.
This is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Syed is with us in Kansas City. Hey, Syed, how are you?
Hi, Syed. Yeah, doing good.
Good.
So, Dave, I have almost 3.5 to 4 million in stocks right now. And my question was, as for debt, I am not debt-free. My house, I'm still paying for my mortgage, but other than that, everything like my cars, I don't have any loan in cars and in credit card, so I don't have any debt other than the house. So I did really good in stocks, and my question will be, because I don't see a big increase in stocks, what I have made profit in 2020, especially during this pandemic in 2019. So my question will be, how can I divide my investment into properties, in stocks, in different portfolio, and also in businesses? This is what I'm struggling for right now.
Yeah. Where'd you get this money? Well done.
So from stocks, I work in a video conferencing tool company. I'm an electrical engineer by profession.
Mm-hmm.
So I got stocks, and in this pandemic, the stocks really zoomed.
Okay.
So I sold few, invested in few other stocks, and those are also doubled or tripled.
Well, good for you. I'm proud for you. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Well, Syed, of course, you can do whatever you want to do, as always. I mean, you've done extremely well. Congratulations. I do not play single stocks. It's too much risk for me. I've been broke, and I don't want to be there again. And so I buy very conservative investments and make conservative returns on them, and I'm happy with that. So I personally only do two things with money. I buy real estate that I pay cash for, and I buy mutual funds. And, it's worked out for me. I've got several $100 million in real estate, and I've got quite a bit invested in mutual funds as well. And so, I very seldom go backward. It almost always goes forward. And when you hardly ever go backward, you don't have to go forward as much. So that's my plan. So if I woke up in your shoes, I would say I've had a good run, and I'm going to use some of this money to buy some real estate that I pay cash for that's income producing. And if you want to get into that world, you've got some money to do it for sure. I'm going to pay cash for the real estate, no debt, pay off your house, and I'm going to start investing in mutual funds. What are you thinking?
I'm right there with you, Dave. Mutual funds and real estate. I love real estate. Can't wait to get into it.
You've
myself.
had a pretty good year on some real estate.
I have, yes, sir.
Well done. That's right. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. Have a friend or family member that needs a daily dose of Ramsey advice in their life? Let them know about the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast. It's a quick hit of advice about life and money in under 10 minutes. Check out the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I am Dave Ramsey, your host. Anthony O'Neill, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us. The phone number is 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Austin is in Gainesville, Florida. Hi, Austin. How are you?
Hi, Dave. I'm doing good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Yes, I've just got a quick question for you about if it would make sense for me and my fiance to kind of swap around baby steps 4, 5, and 6.
No.
Well, right now we're in baby step 2. We're about to finish up next month, actually. We're 25 years old. We've been married for coming up on 4 months now.
Congratulations.
And, thank you. I appreciate it. We at first, she wasn't too keen on the idea of following the baby steps and living on rice and beans, but I got her talked into it, and like I said, we're almost done with that. And then if my math is right, we should be done with baby step 3 in about 5 or 6 months by the end of the year.
Excellent. Excellent.
And right now...
Your phone's breaking up, sir. Try again.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, sir. Right now we live in a double-wide mobile home on some family land. The land is paid for. We only owe about $69,000 on the house as it stands right now.
On the mobile home?
Yes, sir.
Ooh, that's a
$60,000. Okay.
It was brand new when I bought it only 3 years ago.
Oh, Lord.
And anyways, we owe about that much on it, and I'm just kind of curious if it would make more sense for us right now, being that we don't have kids. She's in school to become a nurse practitioner. If it would make sense for her and I to go ahead and kind of pay off the house once we get done with baby step 3 and kind of hold off on investing for another 2.5, 3 years or so. Or if we should just kind of follow them as it's written and then just pay off the house when we get there.
Yeah.
No, Austin. No. Dave said in the beginning, and we both laughed, but we were both very serious. The baby steps work for a reason, man. And I get, and for me, I actually want to say, I like the way you're thinking. You're like, hey, let's get 100% debt free. And I love that thought process. But I also want you to think about if you can start investing at 26 years old, man, you're setting yourself up for wealth down the road. Now, I will definitely say I would get an extra job and be investing my 15% while also going after this, because that's a depreciating, and I could be wrong, but that's a depreciating, not as fast as an actual brick home. So I would definitely be working very hard to pay it off, but I'm not going to do that at the sake of skipping over baby step 4 and not investing at all.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Here's a problem you've got. What'd you pay for that?
Whenever I bought it 3 years ago, the total I financed was $74,000.
Okay. And so you've already lost $15,000. Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
And 10 years from now, what's that mobile home worth?
Probably not very much without the land, and it's family land.
Well, the land is going to be there whether the mobile home's there or not.
Yeah.
You're not paying off the land. You're paying off a mobile home.
Right.
So you have $60,000 in the middle of your kitchen table on fire burning.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So I think we're going to do something else with this trailer is what I would do. I want to get out. I want to try to get out of it as fast as I can because it's going down, not up.
Yes, sir. And that's where my question stemmed from. Long run, like I said, we live on family land that's been in my family for a long, long time, and that's where we intend on raising our family.
Is it deeded to you?
Yes, sir, it is.
It's in your name.
Yes, sir, it is.
How many acres?
Right now, altogether, we've got 6.
Good for you.
And it's kind of our dream. There's some vacant lots around us, and it's kind of our dream to be able to, pay cash for those lots and then build a house on that.
Yeah.
To increase how much land we have.
What is your household income?
Right now, we're at about $103,000. I'm a firefighter and she's a nurse.
Okay.
And
this was not on your radar, so it's going to be really, really hard for you to swallow. But I'm worried about you burning $60,000 over the next 5 years or 10 years. And so I would want to cut this fire short if I were you. Yeah. And I don't know exactly how to do this, but I think I'm going to get that trailer sold now. I might move into an apartment and then get a construction loan and build a house.
Yeah, I like that, Dave.
Because every day you keep that thing, your money's going the wrong way.
Right.
Yes, sir.
That's the problem. So I don't know what we're doing there, but that's not what you're thinking, because you were thinking you're going to ride this thing all the way into the dirt, and I just wouldn't burn $60,000 up.
Yeah.
It's too hard to come by. You've done a great job. You've made a lot of progress. You've got a game plan. By the end of the year, you're going to be in good shape, and it might be that next spring you start trying to get the mobile home sold, and you may have to put some money with it to sell it. You may end up owing more on it than it's worth.
Yeah.
And you very well could be upside down in it. And so I'm going to limit my losses by getting rid of it. And but then you got a place to live. So I'm thinking move into an apartment and get you a construction loan and build a house on the family land, because homes go up in value. The land is an independent part of this. You have a free gift of land. That's wonderful. But you got that whether you put a mobile home on it or whether you put a stick-built home on it. That's Absolutely. Going up in value.
Yeah.
And so it's a problem you've got, because you bought a very expensive depreciating asset.
Yeah. And Dave, I'm still new in the whole mobile home areas. Will it be more difficult to sell a mobile home?
Yes. It's very difficult.
Wow.
It's because there's no land under it. He's not going to sell the land.
Yeah. I got
you. He would just be selling the mobile home. Wow. It's very a used mobile home's hard to sell.
Okay.
And if you're not a mobile home dealer, so there it can be done. Yeah. And obviously it's a nice one.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a lot of money tied up in it.
Right.
But that's the problem I've got. So anyway, you handle it however you want, sir. I think you've made really, really good progress, and I think that thing's going to be a boat anchor around your neck while you're trying to go swimming as you go forward, because you've got this blessing of this fabulous piece of land, 6 nice acres there, without any if you get a house built on there and then you start saving money like crazy, and one of those lots comes available, you could buy it and add on to your property and buy that with cash. That could be the next 10 years of your life, is just kind of building out that farm area there.
Yeah.
So very cool. It's a good plan, but I don't want to wake up 10 years from now and be living in something that's worth nothing while I watched it burn down.
Yep.
This is the Ramsey Show.
We were drawn to Christian Healthcare Ministries because we both had young families and we wanted to have more children. And we had also just started a real estate company and needed to find healthcare coverage that would meet our needs.
We were attracted to CHM because of its low monthly costs and the ability to negotiate medical costs down.
Established in 1981 and accredited by the Better Business Bureau, CHM is here to meet the needs of your growing family or small business. Check us out at chministries.org/budget.
We absolutely believe in it.
Our Our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. They have a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Means even if you mismeasure or you pick the wrong color, they'll remake your blinds for free. You get free samples, free shipping, and with the new promos they run every month, you'll save even more. Use the promo code Ramsey to get the best possible deal.
So, Dave, today's question comes from Wilmer in San Diego, California. I'm 20 years old, make $2,000 per month, and have $11,000 in savings. I live with my parents, but some friends and I want to get an apartment next year. I attend community college and will transfer to a university soon. With rent being so expensive in our area, I'm afraid I won't be able to cash flow school when I transfer. What should I do? I was rocking with you until you said I'm not sure if I will be able to cash flow school when I transfer. Before I was like, yeah, man, move out if you can pay cash for school and an apartment. But since you cannot pay cash for college and rent, then you're going to stay home.
There's no shame in the game of being at home while you're going to school.
Yep.
None whatsoever.
I'll be happy for
and that enables you to do that without a debt free.
Yeah.
I mean, without any debt. That's job one.
Yeah. And college students, Dave, they get excited for the experience, and they don't think about the cost of the experience down the road.
Yeah.
And so, man, experience all you can at the crib.
Yeah. So see what happens here is that people do a switch in their minds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he moves out, and then he gets student loans, and he says, "I got student loans to go to college."
Yeah.
No, you didn't. You got student loans for an apartment.
Right.
Because you could have gone to college free or debt free while living at home.
Yeah.
So you really borrowed money to be in an apartment.
Yep.
Now we're talking dumb.
Well, Dave, you just called me dumb because I did that.
I've done dumb. I've been very, very vocal about all the stupid things I've done. But that's what happens is we're financing lifestyle very often.
Yes, sir.
With these things indirectly, and so, but we go, oh, well, education's expensive.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, it is expensive when you move into an apartment with a skylight, a jacuzzi, and a racquetball court. It gets expensive then, you know? That's exactly what happens. So, Anthony, you nailed that. Perfectly done. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Jamie is in Evansville. Hi, Jamie. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
All right, so my husband and I are on baby steps 4, 5, and 6, and we are currently looking at refinancing our home. We currently have a 30-year VA loan at 4%. We're almost 8 years into that loan. Our current loan value remaining is $200,000, and our home is worth about $300,000.
Mm-hmm.
And so as we're looking at our refinancing options, I've been really surprised that our current lender has given us all the data points we've asked for, and the VA 30-year loan has actually had the lowest rate and closing costs. And I hear you say all the time that the VA loan is generally one of the most expensive. So I'm just calling to ask, are there other questions, or is there a gotcha? Like, what should we be asking? Because it seems almost too good to be true.
There's just something wrong in the equation, because a VA loan is more expensive. The rate is slightly higher than a Fannie Mae loan. And have you got a credit problem?
No, we have excellent credit. No, and so the rate we're getting is 2.75 for a 15-year conventional or a 30-year VA loan.
Okay, so the same rate, but the closing costs.
Rate. Closing costs for the VA loan are $5,200. And for the 15-year, $8,200, and then a little over $10,000 for the 30-year conventional.
They include the funding fee. Listen. You need to get a second bid, so to speak. Get in touch with Churchill Mortgage and have them run numbers for you, and then you can smell out what's going on here. Because the VA loan, when you come to the closing table, it should be. I mean, it has more fees associated with it. It's in order to do the underwriting. Unless somehow they're piggybacking on your existing loan and not having to hit a funding fee, that may be what's happening.
Yeah.
But call Churchill Mortgage and talk it through with them and see if they can figure out what's happening here. I'm not mad about you getting a VA loan. If it's the cheapest one, take it.
Yeah.
But do a 15-year fixed and take the 15-year fixed with the best rate and the best closing costs. I don't care if it's a VA loan in your case, but it just normally isn't. Right. It's just normally not as expensive. Now, the only thing I can think is somehow you're getting some credit for some of the VA fees from your original loan, and they're moving them over to this, and so you're not getting charged as much as if you'd walked in off the street to do a VA. That's possible. And I don't know the nuances of that, but that's the only thing that comes to mind, because if you just walk in off the street to get a VA loan or FHA, you're going to find that much. So it's that easy. Hey, thank you for the call. We appreciate you joining us. Open phones at 888-825-5225. You jump in. We'll talk about your life. We'll talk about your money. Hunter is with us in Texarkana, Texas. Hey, Hunter, how are you?
Hey, Dave, how's it going?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Hey, I was calling to say I recently became debt-free, and I'm working through the baby steps.
Way to go.
Thank you very much. My company offers a Roth 401k.
Good.
With a match.
Great.
My question was, should I put all 15% into the Roth 401k, or should I just do up to the company match and then put the rest into a Roth IRA?
How much is their match, real quick, Hunter?
It's 4%, up to 4%. I think I put in 5, they put in 4.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, either the non-matching portion of your Roth 401k is exactly equal to an individual Roth IRA if you're investing in exactly the same thing. So the only reason you would do an individual is if you don't have good mutual fund options or great mutual fund options, and you could get better ones on your own because the ones in your 401k are a little weak.
Okay, yeah, that's what I met with an advisor a few weeks ago, and he was talking to me about how he could probably build me kind of like an all-star portfolio, whereas kind of the company that the service that my company uses may be limited.
Well, that would be true because, you've got 8 or 10 options to pick from your 401k, and you've got 8,000 mutual funds to pick from in the open market for your individual IRA. So you should be able to find something that will perform. Now, what you shouldn't be able to find is something that's substantially different. If you've got good mutual funds in your 401k and you get slightly better than good mutual funds with your individual Roth IRA, that's fine, but it's not like you're going to double your money or something.
Okay.
So,
sounds good.
But I mean, a lot of times in a 401k, you don't you're not wild about your options. You're definitely going to take the match either way and then go to the individual and get options that I'm jumping up and down excited about with your advisor. That's a fine way to do it.
Hey, great job though, Hunter, getting through these baby steps, man, and asking the right questions.
Yeah, understanding what he's doing.
Exactly.
He's doing a great job of getting his arms around what's happening.
I love it.
These are the people that build wealth.
Yes.
They ask questions, they understand, they think. He's using good critical thinking skills.
Yes.
He's walked his way through the process. He's gotten out of debt. Now he's ready to do investing.
Yeah.
And he's following a system, that'll make him rich.
Yeah.
Over time. But not get rich quick.
Not at all. So, Dave, one of the things I'm teaching over on my show, The Table, is max out your 401k. Once you max that out, then go over to a traditional. And then for the younger people, max out the HSA. Are you in line with that as well?
As long as you're not over 15% with the total.
Right. Yeah.
And if you're a baby step 7, you max out everything.
Okay.
Everything in sight because you're trying to keep the government's hands off of it. I max my HSA, I max my 401k, I do backdoor Roths, anything I can do to keep the government's hands off of something.
Right.
Because by the time it gets back to me from them, there's not much left. It's a magic formula they have up there.
That's the truth.
Whew. Man, oh man. This is The Ramsey Show. lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Lee and Michelle are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
We are great.
How are you,
Welcome
Dave and Anthony?
Absolute. Better than we deserve. Welcome to Nashville. Where do y'all live?
Cartersville, Georgia.
Okay, a little north of Atlanta then.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. Well, welcome all the way up here. And up here to do a debt-free scream, how much have you paid off?
$305,000. I believe it's $968.
Excellent. Excellent job. How long did this take?
18 months.
Good for you. Wow.
To the day.
And your range of income during that 18 months?
Between $190 and $210.
Wow, you guys are killing it. What do y'all do for a living?
I'm in the insurance business with my brother. We have an insurance agency in Cartersville. And Michelle?
I'm a parish administrator with a church.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well done, you guys. So what kind of debt was the 306?
Whew, a little bit of everything. Mortgage, we actually had 2 mortgages because we are actually celebrating our 2-year anniversary today, almost to the minute, with you guys. And actually, we're podcasting with y'all when we decided to do the thing. But it's mortgage, credit card, some tax debt, just a little bit of everything.
Wow. Okay. So you paid off your house?
Yes.
I'm looking at weird people.
We paid off 2 houses.
2 houses. Oh, double weird.
With being newlyweds, when we got married, I had a house. He had a house. So we sold my house, paid that one off, and used the profit from my house to do our 3 to 6 months.
Right.
And then threw it into the mortgage of his house.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Yep.
So we're just cleaning up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Starting a new marriage the way you want to start one.
Amen.
We actually started on our honeymoon.
Wow.
We we were in Chattanooga for our honeymoon, and we stopped to get gas. I was the only one with a credit card, and we cut it up in the gas parking lot and threw it in the trash can.
Because you're listening to the podcast going down the road or something?
Yes,
Pretty much.
That's exactly right.
Oh, my
gosh.
gosh.
He ordered the Total Money makeovers while we were sitting there in the parking lot. By the time we got home, no, we did a couple of days before.
Yeah.
But by the time we got home, they were sitting in our driveway waiting for us to start them.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We've had a great time. Great time.
So just getting married on and being excited about a fresh start and all that, said, okay, we got to address this money thing, and then the podcast just pops up.
Well, that's not true.
Okay.
We dated with you guys a lot. When we instead of listening to music, we would listen to podcasts on our dates to and from.
I really thought he was weird when he looked at me and said, "You want to listen to Dave Ramsey?" And we're coming home from a date. And
that is weird. Yeah.
I went, "Who?"
Yeah, I love Dave, but that's real weird.
I learned to love Dave even more, though. Actually, all of you guys, I drive an hour to work every day.
Okay.
An hour to and an hour from.
Which means you're a mile from home in Atlanta, right?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah, a little too much, but that's changing next week, so that's a good thing. But you guys really inspired me in the afternoons to go home and find more stuff to sell on eBay, more stuff to put on Facebook Marketplace, more stuff to just get rid of, so you got rid of this. So, yep.
Wow.
So once we got to $83,000, I said, I need something visual. And we did a paper chain that every chain's $1,000. And it hung all the way across our breakfast room.
Wow.
And our grandkids would come in and see it, and our kids would come in and see it. And every $1,000 we paid off, we cut a link.
Yeah.
And it's a new set of kitchen cabinets, or it's going to Italy, or it's doing something that we knew that $1,000 would help us do.
Yeah.
So when we got to that point, the last one was freedom. And so we have kept all these little pieces of paper, and we just start pulling them out. And what are we going to do? Because you helped us get here.
Yeah. Wow.
So
proud
thank you
of y'all.
so much.
Thank you.
Proud of you
So
guys.
we were just under bondage with a chain.
Yeah.
And that was just a really good visual for us.
Yeah,
but it was also a witnessing tool for us to not only witness about what the Lord's done in our life, but also witness what your program can do for other people. I mean, we were just talking to a couple offset here just a minute ago, and they're in their 20s. It would have been nice for us to start in our 20s, but we're in our late 50s, and you know, it's never too late.
That's it.
It's never too late.
That's it. You guys are impressive. Very, very well done.
Thank you.
We had a good time.
We're in ELP for you guys.
Oh, okay.
But I got to tell you, I always wanted to be one, but I knew I did not want to even think about it until I got my house in order.
Wow.
And once I got our house in order, then I made application and went through the interview process and met some great people. And our agency is now an ELP for you.
Okay, so on the PNC side then.
On the PNC side.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm honored to have you as part of the team, man. That's
Thank you.
incredible.
Thanks.
Well done, well done. How does it feel to have not a payment in the world?
Oh my! It's like nothing I've ever felt before. Truly, I mean, I love being married to this man because he is my leader, and he is the head of our household, and he got me into this craziness. But I don't know of any other way that I will want to live the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
We spent our anniversary in Nashville, and I told her, I said, babe, the best part about it, everything we've done, while none of it was extravagant, I said, there's no bills waiting for us when we get home.
Right.
And there's no money that we've got to send to anybody else other than just our normal power bill and things like that.
Love it. Vacation not going to follow you home.
Never.
Never again.
Never.
So good.
No.
It sounds like your life is a vacation, though.
Much so.
It is.
Each day is a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
To not have that load waiting on you when you put your feet on the floor. Yeah. And know that you're having to go to work to pay that load off is amazing.
Yeah.
So,
or if the air conditioner busts on the way home, no big deal.
Yeah.
So you had 18 very intentional, very intense months. What was the toughest part of that?
You know, it really wasn't that tough, and I don't mean to say that. I mean, it was tough. It was a lot of hard work.
You didn't do a lot of things.
But we did not do a lot of things, and we got a lot of people say, well, come on, you can just do that little bit, or go buy yourself a new set of golf clubs, or go do this, or go do that. And I'm like, no, we've got other plans for that. That money's going somewhere else. And I said, I can do that later.
Yeah.
Or she would do the same thing.
The envelopes, they were my best friends.
Wow,
and I would be at lunch with a girlfriend, or we'd go shopping, and I'd pull out an envelope. I'd go, nope, it's going to have to wait. I can't get those shoes. Or she'd say, where do you want to go to lunch? Well, let me look. And I'd look and go, well, I got $7 in my meal envelope. So let's figure out where we're going to eat. And he handed me this. I looked over there earlier, and I said, I love the new wallets. And I said, but I wouldn't give mine. I wish I had it. It looks like it's just falling apart. It's leather.
Yes.
It is. It's just falling apart. And envelopes, I'd get to the point that I didn't have any extra envelopes, and I'd write all around them.
You need to put that in the chain link zip bag.
Yeah.
And keep it all as a memory for the grandbabies.
Absolutely.
And then go get you a nice envelope system that says Rachel
She said
Cruz
that
on
a minute
it.
ago. She said, I really like the new ones over there.
Yeah. You've earned it. You've enveloped like no one else. Now you can envelope like no one else.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. It's Lee and Michelle from the Atlanta, Georgia area. $306,000 paid off in 18 months, making $190 to $210. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free!
Wow.
That's some happy newlyweds.
Absolutely. Look at it.
I love it.
Yes.
That is
2
so
years
fun. That is so fun. Yes. Well done. What rock stars, man. So you're out there at the gas pump and you're listening. Did you hear what she said? She cut up her credit cards at the gas pump.
At the gas pump.
Made the decision, never again.
And brothers,
and you're listening right now, and you're going, well, yeah. Well, what about you? When are you gonna do it? If you're listening to us right now, what's your problem? When are you gonna do it? It's there for the taking, baby. You just gotta decide. You can do it. They can do it. It's possible. This is the Ramsey Show. Woo. When it comes to making big money or life moves, like buying a home or getting married, having a baby, it's likely the last thing on your mind to make sure you have the right insurance coverage, but it should be on your mind. Big changes are overwhelming. What would be even more overwhelming is to find yourself in a situation where you didn't have the right coverage because you forgot about the insurance part of this big event. If not having the time and energy is what's keeping you from getting the right insurance coverage, use one of our endorsed local providers, like the guy that just did his debt-free scream. They're independent insurance agents who will shop among a gazillion companies free and get you the best price, and they do all the work. They work for you. All you've got to do is text insurance to 33789. Text insurance to 33789 to get connected with an ELP and let a pro help you find the coverage that fits your life. Insurance. Text insurance to 33789. This is the Ramsey Show. Anthony O'Neill, Ramsey personality, is my co-host today. Liza's with us in Orlando, Florida. Hi, Liza. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey, or to the Ramsey Show. What's up?
Hi, thank you for taking my call, and I appreciate what all you guys do. I've been starting to listen now since we've had to stay home. So it's been a little education here, but I still have a couple of questions.
Okay.
And my house is paid off.
Good.
And I have a friend who told me, why are you paying the insurance? I mean, when have you had something catastrophic happen since you bought the home? Well, once, when Hurricane Irma came.
Yeah.
And I was going to put the roof on myself, but Irma helped me along, so the insurance paid for it. So she says, you got a full roof on now. What else can happen? The fire station's about two blocks from you. Or either lower the replacement value. And I'm just a little bit scared about not having insurance on the house because this is my only asset, that I have that's big-time money.
Yeah,
so
I think your friend's kind of dumb.
Right? And she has money to back up if she had any problem with the house. I'm not that lucky.
I've got the money to write a check and rebuild my house, but I have homeowner's insurance.
Okay, so I should just continue that because I don't even know if I can not have insurance on the house. Should I lower the replacement value or should I leave it the way it is?
I if you're going to pay for insurance that replaces the house if it burns.
Okay, well, the fire station's 2 blocks away.
I know.
But you still have something will still burn.
I mean, it can still. I mean, the chance of you having a total loss is not there, probably, depending on what happens. But I mean, I've been to Orlando. I was there last week. You guys have thunderstorms like we have in Tennessee.
Yes.
So who's to say you don't get struck by lightning? I don't know.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, because we're the capital for lightning strikes.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't think I would have been able to do it because I have an equity line on the house.
No, they're not going to let you. I thought you said you had it paid off.
Well, the house is paid off.
No, it's not. You've got an equity line on it.
That's a whole different company. It's with my bank, with my checking.
I know, but they've got your house is not paid off. They have a lien on your house.
Yeah.
Oh, so and I've been just letting that linger there because I just thought it's like an open credit card type of thing. My husband's passed away, so now I'm dealing things on my own. He's probably rolling on his grave listening to my conversation now. Oh yeah.
No, listen, you're doing good because you're asking questions and you're learning. That's always good. Let's leave the insurance in place and let's call the bank and cancel the equity line.
Okay, because I don't have anything hardly on. It's probably about $500 or something.
Yeah.
But the value of it is like $30. So that's the pre-owned.
It's an accident looking for a place to happen, is what it is.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There are times that you can self-insure through some things that you want to.
But not a house, though, right?
Not a house. I just But I mean, like I had a $3,000 Jeep.
Yeah.
That was at the lake house. Right. It was just a lake house Jeep.
Yep.
And I did not carry collision on it.
Yeah.
Because they wanted like $500 for collision on a $3,000 Jeep, and I'm like, I'll just take the risk. It's a $3,000 Jeep. I can, if the thing just explodes tomorrow into 1,000 pieces because whatever, I hit a wall with it, I don't know, then I'll just get another one. It's not, but because it's not a big deal. But my nicer cars, I still carry coverage on. Yeah. Now, because I've looked at it, I'm going, okay, I've got this vehicle that's worth this.
Yeah.
I can afford to buy one of those a month.
Right.
Even though it's expensive, but I mean, I'm in a financial condition to do that.
Right.
But I look at the value that I'm covering versus what it costs me to cover it, and I'll let them take the risk for that. It's just a value proposition for me.
I see.
And so, but technically, they're making money on me.
And technically, it would cost you more money if you didn't have it insured. I mean, you would have to go drop, the money. When technically, if you pay the insurance, you come out cheaper if something was to happen.
Well, certainly if something happens, but that's when they don't come out.
Right.
And on average, they're going to come out.
Absolutely.
So that's the deal.
Yeah.
But I still carry coverage on the cars, the nicer cars.
Yeah.
And on other things. And of course, I carry liability on everything. Lots and lots of liability. It's the best buy in the insurance world.
And Dave is saying he carries full coverage on the nicer cars. So I just want to make sure America hears that.
Yeah. But I don't, but if I've got a farm truck or something, I don't put a bunch of insurance on it. It's not what we're doing. That's an easy enough thing to replace.
And you have full coverage on your lake house, even though it's not as big as your house, but you have full coverage on your lake house.
Absolutely.
Well. Yeah. Just want to make sure people understand that.
And they're all paid for, and I could write a check and build one of those in 30 seconds if something happened to one of them. But I'm gonna go ahead and let the homeowner sit in place. It's just pretty simple, and starts to add up after a while, but it's a good buy.
Yeah.
So good question, Liza. Crystal is in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Hi, Crystal. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Good to talk to you guys.
You too.
I started listening to you guys probably about a month ago, and I am the gazelle, and my husband is not. So we have 2 car loans. I think one is $700 and one is $8,000. Our house has been paid off for years. And I'm ready to take the money out of the savings and just pay them off. But he's like, you just don't take your capital. You just don't take your capital. So
you've already taken it.
Exactly.
When you bought the car, you took it. When you pay it off, you just admit it.
I did all the numbers. I said, look how much interest we're saving and this and that. And it's just, I just can't. He has agreed that this month we're going to pay off his vehicle, and then we're going to double the payments on my car. So, but
why would you do that? You're using up the capital.
Yeah.
Well, we're taking his car payment.
I know it's not logical.
Yeah.
Do
y'all have the money in the savings, Crystal, to go ahead and cut the check?
She got the money to pay it all off today.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much do you have in savings?
$19,000.
Okay.
I mean, we're set. It's like I'm all over the place with the baby steps. I mean, our retirement is really good, and I want to do the 6 months after trying to push that and everything, but we have no other bills. And
yeah. I'm paying off both of the cars today.
I don't know how to get him to do it, but I would write a check today if I were in your situation and pay off everything. I'd be debt free. But the capital's gone. You've already spent the money when you bought the car. When you pay off the loan is when you just admit what you've already done, and maybe that line of reasoning will help him get his head around that. But I mean, if you use his principle, when you get the car paid off, you would turn around and borrow on it again so that you had capital.
Yeah.
But borrowed money does not represent capital. That's not a proper term. That's not proper terminology. And a simple savings account is not using your capital. So now you need to. I don't know how to talk him into it, but I think you just continue the conversation. Just tell him what it'll mean to you, how you want to, how it's going to make you feel a lot better. Be a gift to you for him to do that, and maybe that'll help. I don't know. Good luck with that. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books.
is James Childs, producer of The Ramsey Show. You can listen to all our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. Browse by topic or even send clips to your friends. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. Anthony O'Neill, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, and host of The Table. Big-time YouTube and podcast explosion that's happening, is my co-host today. You jump in, we'll talk about your life and your money. The phone number is 888-825-5225. Tiffany is with us in Sacramento. Hi, Tiffany. How can we help?
Hi, Dave. I have a little complicated issue here. Hopefully I can explain it.
Okay.
My husband had a job change, and real estate is different in various parts of California. And we had to leave our home. We're renting it out. We only owe 3.5 years on it now. So because my husband's job changed, so we left that house, but are renting it out. We owe 3.5 years. But where we live now, real estate is super expensive. And so my husband wants to sell the house. I have sentimental value to the house. If he lost his job, we would go back to that house. If something happened to him, I would go back to the house. So I feel like it's more advantage to have a paid-off house. And the only way we could buy a house in the area that we live would have to be a 30-year loan. So it makes me sad to think about selling that house and walking away with maybe $200,000. And still having a 30-year loan. Am I making sense at all?
Well, I mean, yeah, I understand what you're saying, if that's what you mean. Where is the house?
The house that we only owe 3.5 years on?
Yes, ma'am. That's the only one you've got, right?
Yes, it is in Susanville, California. You've probably never heard of that.
No, I haven't. How far away from you is it?
4 hours.
Okay. All right. And you left there because he took a job in Sacramento?
Yes.
Do you feel like his job in Sacramento is going to end soon?
No.
So how long do you think you'll be in Sacramento?
We have children that are in college now or getting college age, so I really don't know. I mean, that's kind of part of my reason, too, is like, do I really want to buy a house? But then we try and rent a house.
No, I mean, are you going to be there 2 years? Or are you going to be there 20 years?
Yeah. 2
You'll be there
years,
20
2 to
years?
5 years. Maybe not 20 years.
Yeah. How old are you guys?
I'm 46. My husband's 10 years older.
Okay. All right. So he's going to work 10 more. He's probably going to work 10 more years anyway, right?
Right. Yeah, he suggested Tennessee. All of us Californians are moving to Tennessee now.
Okay, so how would that take you back to Susanville?
Yeah.
Right. I'm not for moving to Tennessee. I want to stay in California.
Oh, okay. I don't think this is about the house. I think this is about you holding on to Susanville.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Why is the house sentimental?
I don't know.
Got to know
it
something.
Just is.
How long did you live there?
We were there about 9 years.
Was that your first home?
Yes. I brought all my girls home there.
Is it just because I hear like security as well? Like if something happened,
I kind of almost feel like you're grieving the fact that you left there.
Yeah, there's a lot of different grief. So, anyways, part of me is, I'm attached to the house.
Yeah.
Part of me, it makes me sad to think that I probably wouldn't have a paid off house till I'm close to 80. That grieves
Well, I
me.
don't think that's true. What's your household income?
Probably 180, 190.
Okay, so
close to 200.
Yeah. I mean, I think you guys need to do some more investigation of real estate in your area. I mean, Sacramento is a more expensive market than Susanville for sure, but it's not San Diego and it's not San Jose. It's not Silicon Valley. So I think making $200,000 a year with a $200,000 down payment, you can do a 15-year on something that you can find in the area and get it paid off and have a game plan to have a paid-for house. I'm not signing you up for a 30-year mortgage. Yeah. I agree with you on that, but I think you're overstating that and adding some drama to this discussion because your heart is breaking about Susanville somehow or another. I don't know what it is. I can't tell. But, I mean, you got you're not going back there. You know that logically, but there's something emotionally that says I can't let go, and I don't know what that is. So, I think that it's important for you and your husband and your all's relationship to work through that part of it. And I think when you kind of come to the conclusion that you're not going back there, you're going to sell it.
Yeah.
It's what I would do. I wouldn't suggest you own a rental property 4 hours away that's paid for.
Yeah.
Almost paid for. And so I'm going to select a property with my $200,000 income in Sacramento with a $200,000 down payment that's a 15-year fix. And I think you can do all that. So, I agree with your husband's conclusions. What I still can't find, and I'm not, I wouldn't come down on you for this, but there's something going on with you and this move that emotionally that's causing you to think to lean this direction, and that's more of a concern to me if that for you guys going forward, for your relationship, for your peace of mind, all that kind of stuff, than just whether or not you own a house in Susanville.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can kind of feel it in the air.
I really can. I really can. But I'm right there with you, Dave. $200,000 down payment, home. $400,000, $450,000, max $500,000, $300,000 to pay off, and then, hey, and if something was to happen, and I hate to say this, hopefully they have proper term life insurance and they can take care of the house, and she's back to where she was. She's safe, she's secure.
Yeah, there's something about the past that's going on there. There's something happening. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Thank you for joining us, America. So the thing to remember, to Tiffany's credit, and it's a good lesson from that call for all of us, and I have to stop and remember it, not as often because I've done this show for 30 years and it keeps me remembering it, but personal finance is personal.
Yes.
And so there are times with money that it's okay to do something that's illogical or maybe not the perfect math thing because it's what you are doing.
Yeah.
It's like you wouldn't logically spend what we spend on a diamond for an engagement ring or a wedding ring.
Right.
It's not logical. It doesn't match the numbers. It's not a return on investment in terms of mathematics. It's a personal thing. It's a gift to your betrothed. And so it's okay for it to be personal. It's okay to have feelings about all this, in other words. Hey folks, I got a great option to help you pay for your education. The Army National Guard. The Army National Guard believes you are the next greatest generation because you have proven that even in adversity, that you have what it takes to succeed. That's why they offer benefits like tuition assistance, career training, and a paycheck to help you avoid debt. No matter what your goals are, the Army National Guard can help you get there. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more. by now, you've probably seen all the tax software ads that are out there saying it's free to do your taxes with these big companies. But newsflash, for most people, it's not free because you don't meet the right criteria. And by the time you realize you don't meet the free criteria, you put in too much time to start over, so you pay up. You get sucked into the vortex. And that's money for these companies. This is what happens. And here's another truth. The same company has loads of customer data, and they sell it. Their own privacy statements say so. So if they know you wound up owing taxes, they've got a green light to send your information to their business partners, who will then kindly help you get a loan or a credit card. And they pay these companies for this information that they got off of you for free. See, the tax software guys get a bonus and you get more debt. Ding, ding. So they're making a killing off their customers is what it amounts to. And you need something better. You need something cleaner. And that's why we stepped into the ring. Ramsey Smart Tax. It gives you a way to file your taxes without paying more than you expected and without having your data sold so that you end up in debt and get pounded by these guys. So it's very inexpensive. It's an easy way to file. $17 or $38. It's a very simple pricing menu. There's not a bait and switch. You're not going to get sucked in. Text the word tax to 33789 to learn more, and you can start the process for free. Text tax to 33789. Paul is in Atlanta. Hey, Paul, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Dave, Anthony, thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
I have a question, and I was going to see if you two could provide me with some guidance.
Okay.
I got married just a couple months ago, and I had a home that, thank you, I had a home that I had previously or just shortly before marriage I had bought. Well, my wife is wanting me to add her to the deed here and put her as a co-owner, but she doesn't want to be added to the mortgage. And my thinking is if someone's going to be on a deed, then they also need to be on the mortgage. And we're kind of trying to debate this out. I want to be fair. She's worried that if something were to happen, I don't know, if something were to happen, that she would have to leave the home. And like I said, I want to be fair. I just don't know the right thing to do.
Okay. Well, to start with, being added to the deed and not being added to the mortgage doesn't matter. You still have to pay the mortgage if you die.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's what I'm worried about is if we were to, in the case of, God forbid, a divorce were to happen, I would be left holding a mortgage, and then someone would have, an ownership or an equity in my home.
No, that's not how it works. Because in a divorce, they divorce. Whether you have, whether your wife's name is on the deed or not, she's got marital rights to your house. Okay. In a divorce, you're gonna have to deal with the house as an asset in the divorce. In most states, including Georgia. Okay? Now there's some states that aren't wired that way, but the vast majority of states are pretty simple. In a divorce, you're going to divide up the property, and regardless of whose name it's in.
Okay, and I'm glad you put me at ease on that.
Yeah.
Today.
So so I would have a will that takes care of her. You can add her name or not add her name to the deed. I would not go to the expense to refinance. Because her being on the liability of the mortgage or not being on the liability of the mortgage is pretty simple. You don't pay that mortgage, whoever it is, somebody pays that mortgage or that house goes away. They're going to foreclose on it, dude.
We got to walk away. Well, on a financial end of it, I have enough assets to where I could sell to pay the home off. I have a couple of rental properties and then some cash savings, and I would be totally 100% debt-free.
How long have you been married?
About 3 months.
Oh. Okay, so you brought substantial assets into this marriage.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
And she wants, what is your net worth?
About $700,000.
Oh, okay. All right. And what do you make?
Around $160,000.
What's she make?
Around $40,000.
Okay.
How much is the house worth? Could you say you have enough to pay it off?
Yes, I have enough to pay the home off, and I would have to sell a couple of my rental properties, but they're just low-end rentals, but I could sell them and then be 100% debt-free.
What do you owe on the house?
$360,000.
How old are you guys?
I'm 53. She's 42.
This is definitely
okay. So, but paying off your house or not paying off your house doesn't affect your position. Yeah, I unless you unless you were thinking of selling these rental properties anyway. If you are, then it's okay. Yeah, use the money from that, and let's clear the mortgage. But you've got a great income. I think you're going to be able to clear the mortgage in a few years anyway.
That's what I started listening to you just a few short months back, and that was what my goal is, in just maybe 3 to 4 years, have the mortgage completely knocked out.
Yeah, and that does not make you more vulnerable in a divorce situation, or her less protected.
Well, I want to protect her and be fair.
Or
I mean,
more
100%.
protected. I mean, it doesn't do all that. So, yeah, I think you guys just working together and understanding,
we do for the most part,
from a legal perspective, what your rights are, and if something, and having a will, you need to get a will in place, which would give her some comfort that if something happens to you, she's going to inherit. If you've got children from a former marriage or anything, then you're going to have them have some of the assets. She's going to get this house, whatever it is. Go ahead and have all that laid out in a will, and I think that might help the relationship part of this discussion.
Yeah, I agree. Dave, can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Young guy, net worth is $2 million, just got married. What's your stance on prenups? Would you advise that guy to do a prenup with his net worth that high?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, $2 million and above, you start looking at it. Okay. And the reason is it's not the actual person you're marrying.
Okay.
It's their stinking family. And if you've got a prenup, it shuts everybody up.
Wow.
And because here's what happens. The more money is involved, the more weird comes out of the cracks.
I got you.
Weird just shows up. Crazy just shows up.
Yeah.
And it just sets it aside. Now, I don't recommend a prenup.
Okay.
Or a post-nup, either one.
Yeah.
In a situation like this, you got $700,000. That's if you love your money more than you love her, you shouldn't get married. But if you've got substantial assets, regardless of your age, man or woman, and you're coming into a marriage and the other person does not, then you need one, just because it takes all the weirdness off the table. It's a preset formula of they're going to get this in the event of a divorce, and they're not going to get anything else. And it's a lockdown thing.
Okay.
And then if their little stupid friends or their stupid crazy family members or whatever start speaking into the relationship, it gives them, there's a kind of a rudder to the ship. There's a plumb line that you're bumping against, that you go, okay, no, that's not going to work out. It's not going to work out that way.
Gotcha.
So you're walking away from that, and that person also knows they're going to obviously leave the marriage with what they came in with.
Gotcha.
Which is nothing or something, depending on which person we're talking about here, right? But and as it should be, you shouldn't have access to that. But I had one lady call, and she said she was dating a guy who had a classic sports car, and he wanted a prenup. And I said, don't marry this guy. He likes his car more than he likes you. No, this guy's not marriage material.
A
this
classic
guy's a
car,
twerp.
Dave?
This guy's a twerp. Yeah. So don't marry this guy, right? But I mean, if you got $2 million, I think you do need to set some boundaries with that, because it just keeps the crazy at arm's length.
Yeah. Gotcha.
the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Johnny and Ashley are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Good. Great.
Good to have you guys. Where do y'all live?
Selmer, Tennessee.
Oh, cool. Welcome to Nashville. And over here to do a debt-free scream. How much you paid off?
$49,700.
Way to go. How long did it take?
Exactly 21 months.
Excellent. And your range of income during that time?
We started out $19,000, and after hearing about this program, made it up to $60,000 a year.
Whoa! So how'd you do that?
Well, we were always taught this verses in the Bible about it's the rich man can't make it into the kingdom of heaven kind of stuff. And after starting to listen to you, we heard the other verses that wasn't evil, and it changed our mindset, and I run my own business, and so I just went after it.
Wow. Good for you. Cool. What kind of business have you got?
I run a handyman business.
Good for you. That's a great business.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Always work for that. Always work.
And you live here in Nashville, in the area?
Selmer.
Oh.
I wish. I'd work at your house, too.
Yeah, because I don't know if you know. Well, I'm not going to bring that up. But anyway, he might need some help, is all I'm saying. But yeah,
I need some help, man.
So, way to go, guys. So how'd you get plugged in? What started this journey?
Well, so we were probably in like the lowest part of our life. I swore I wasn't going to get emotional. My dad had just passed away, and about 20 weeks later, we had a miscarriage at 20 weeks. And we just kind of continued to spiral down. And
hard year.
He started listening to, or through somebody he heard about you guys, and he was like, oh, they're get out of debt, you probably have to be rich or whatever. And he started listening, he went, well, we're as low as we can get, like how much farther can we go? I might as well look at it. So he did. I was the hesitant one. I mean, I was struggling real hard, but he started showing me some of this stuff and everything, and I don't know, it gave me hope seeing other people do debt-free screams, and so yeah, anyways, kind of went from there.
Yeah. Wow. It's a tough year.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm sorry. But the good news is that it's almost like one way to work through the grief is not to ignore it, but also to have something to aim at.
Yeah.
And have a goal in front of you, and that helps you with that process. Yes. So that's cool. And then you go get in gear and make more money than you ever made in your life.
Yeah. Once we found out that it was physically possible, it gave us hope because before we had no hope.
Yeah.
So why go to work? There's no reason to. And then when I saw your plan, I was like, oh my God, it doesn't matter how much money you make. There's hope. And so it just gave us that drive.
Man, you guys are impressive. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, I took on a job for about 6 months with a company that I worked for before we got married. And they took me on for 6 months. And I did that and homeschooled my girls.
Yeah,
so.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, way to go, you guys.
So I'm curious, throughout these 21 months, what was the hardest thing? Because you all are making what the average person makes in America, and we get a lot of people saying, we can't do it, it's hard, it's difficult, we don't make enough money, we don't make a lot of money. But you all paid off $50,000 in less than 2 years. So what was the hardest thing, and what helped you push through that?
The hardest part for me was not going to the beach. And when people would ask us to go on things, going out to dinner with them or, just out somewhere to the movies or, something else. And just having to tell those people no, and they're like, why? And then trying to explain why, and they're like, it didn't make sense to them. A lot of people our age that we grew up with were kind of like, you guys are crazy.
Yeah, you'll never do it.
Yeah, honestly, it wasn't that hard because when you go from making $19,000 a year, that's below the poverty line.
Yeah.
And then you triple that, you feel like
it's not like you say when you make a budget, you feel like a pay raise. We had a pay raise.
Yeah.
And so
yeah, you did.
So
you feel like you hit the lottery.
Yeah, our lifestyle increased, even though our paying off debt increased. And because even paying half of our income to the debt, we were still making $30,000 a year at that rate.
Yeah, you're still almost doubled your income.
Yeah. So we felt like it kind of made it hard in that sense to not take her to the beach and stuff, because we do have more money. Yeah. And before, we were going to the beach once a year, and just using credit cards to do it.
Yeah. Wow. So that's what kind of debt this was? $50,000 was credit cards, and what else?
It was all credit card, and $6,000 on a van.
Okay. Wow.
So,
wow.
Part of it was starting my business, buying tools, and the first couple years of my business, I made $15,000 a year. Wow. And then we made it to $19,000, and then when we heard about you, it just gave me that motivation to make more.
I'm so proud of y'all. Man, well done.
With his business, usually, December and January, pretty hard months for us. So this past December and January, we had a washer break and everything else, and at first, when we started having things, happen where, that was what you would use your emergency fund for, there was the first anxiety that would happen, oh my gosh, and then I'm like, wait a minute, like, I don't have to freak out about this, anymore. Like, we're going to be okay. We can still pay for everything, and replace whatever we needed to, and it didn't put us behind anywhere.
Yeah. You guys are on your way, man.
So good.
You going all the stuff. This is so cool.
So
well
at the end of April, we will have property, and we're going to build a house.
Wow.
So.
I love it.
We're buying 80 acres. And we already have the down payment.
$19,000 to $60,000 in income to 80 acres. Good gracious.
Life is good. Well done, you guys. Well done. That is so cool.
Can I rent this couple of acres?
Well, we're wanting to do an Airbnb and a wedding venue in a few years down the road, so we'll send you free night.
There you go.
I appreciate it, man.
There you go. That's good stuff.
Appreciate it.
Well, very cool, you guys. Well done. Very, very well done. And you brought the kiddos with you?
Yep. We
What are their
did.
names and ages?
Jenna is 9. Bella is 7. And Lyra is 3.
All right. Beautiful young women. Very well done. So they've been practicing their debt-free scream?
Yep.
All right. Let's see it. I love it. Very cool. All right, Johnny and Ashley from Selma,
Selmer, Tennessee.
Selmer, Tennessee. Yeah. $50,000 paid off in 21 months, making 19 to 60. Well done. Great story, you guys. Proud of you. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. We're debt-free!
Wow.
How fun is that?
Wow. Dave, did you hear that? From below, we were below poverty to now 80 acres inland.
Yeah. And no debt. Life is good.
That's beautiful.
Life is good.
That is just beautiful.
Just permission to go win.
Yes.
You have to give yourself permission to win. And that's important.
Yes, sir.
And sometimes you just need somebody to say it out loud, right. And you got permission to win. You're allowed. It's okay. Oh, my goodness.
Woo!
That's powerful.
So
well
powerful.
done, you guys. So beautiful. What a great story. What a great couple.
Yes, sir.
They're on fire, man. Yeah. Life is good. This is The Ramsey Show. scripture of the day, Deuteronomy 8:18. But remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the ability to produce wealth, and so confirms His covenant which He swore to your ancestors as it is today. Nelson Mandela said, money won't create success. The freedom to make it will. That's a lot like that young man we were just talking to.
Yes, sir.
I mean, he just had to have permission to go win.
Yeah.
The Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the ability to produce wealth.
Wow.
So, very interesting. Very interesting. And powerful. Open phones here at 888-825-5225. Anthony O'Neill is my co-host today. Chris is with us in Asheville, North Carolina. Hi, Chris. How are you?
Hey, Dave. Good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up in your world?
Awesome. Not too much. So I've got a last survivor adjustable life insurance policy that my parents put into my name 3 years ago, and I wanted to get your advice on whether I should keep it or surrender it. I'd like to give you a summary of where I'm at with the baby steps right now. I'm 34, debt-free, make $52,000 a year. I'm going to be done with a 6-month emergency fund at the end of May. After that, I want to save up to either build a small garage apartment or buy something. And then I've also got $1,400 in a 401k just sitting. I'm not contributing to it at all.
Are you single?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, this life insurance policy was bought as an investment, not as life insurance. And it's a crummy investment. It has a horrible rate of return, and the insurance portion of it is very expensive. And so I would buy a little bit of term life insurance. You don't need a bunch, maybe $100,000 or something, just to clean up your estate if something happened to you, so nobody had to pay to bury you or something like that. And then I would drop this stuff.
Oh, so this policy is insuring my parents, not me.
Oh, why did they put it in your name?
Yes. I guess they wanted me to have control over it for some reason.
So it pays you upon their death?
Yes. Whoever dies last.
Yeah. Between the two of them?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
So both of them
are you paying
away.
for it, or is it?
No.
It's paid up
so,
because they paid so much into it.
So they paid $46,000 into it from 1997 to 2013. The current surrender value is $70,000, and the death benefit is $500,000.
Yeah. Oh, so they're making 2% on their money.
Yep.
Okay, so what happens? Let's see. Are you morally obligated to take care of their? This is just to benefit you, or is this you're supposed to take care of their final expenses out of this, or what? Have they got an estate?
Yes.
Okay, so you wouldn't need this if both of them passed away to cover their burial, right?
No.
And I assume you're the beneficiary of their will as well, right?
I am. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, so basically you have $70,000 sitting here in an investment that's not got a great rate of return is really what this comes down to. Are either one, well, it's both of them. It's a last to die. Are they both ill?
No, they're both in good health.
How old are they?
They're in their mid-70s. My dad is 73 and my dad is 75 and my mom is 73.
Yeah. I'm getting rid of it. It's basically a $70,000 investment that's sitting there doing poorly. That has $500,000 attached to it on some 75-year-olds. But I'm going to take my $70,000 and I'm going to invest it well.
Okay. And then, that was going to be my secondary question is I want to have a good plan for this money.
Yeah.
If I choose to surrender the policy. So being where I'm at, not only having $1,400 in a 401k at age 34, how would you allocate those funds either to a down payment on a house or a 401k or either or both?
401k is payroll withheld only.
Yeah.
And so, I would use a portion of it for a down payment on a house, and I would invest the rest of it in some mutual funds.
Okay.
Normally, I would just put it all on the house, but because there's a lot of weirdness in the air here about them having done an investment for you, I'm going to try to honor that with them a little bit, and let's put some of this into an investment. So maybe $20,000 down on the house and $50K in mutual funds or something like that.
Okay.
Because they're probably, they got sold this policy by someone, and they think it's a big, wonderful thing. I don't.
Yeah.
I wish they had invested $46,000 for you into something else, and it'd be $146 now instead of $70.
Mm-hmm.
But
and I can sense a little bit of regret from my dad, in relation to that. I think
so he's not going to be like, his feelings aren't going to be hurt by you cashing this thing out then.
No, they've told me that it's mine to do with what I wish.
Yeah, that's very healthy. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't get a guilt trip with the policy.
Well, the thing is ultimately it's a gamble on death, and that makes me feel bad in the first place.
It's kind of weird, but truthfully, from a math standpoint, if they were both in the final stages of stage 4 cancer or something, then mathematically we'd be a little bit cold and weird about it and hold on to it, right?
Yeah.
But we don't have that situation. Yeah. We just need to take the $70,000 and do your life.
Absolutely.
Let's you do you, and $20,000 is a down payment. $50,000 into some mutual funds, and are you've seen something else? Am I missing something?
No, you're hitting right on it, and I like the fact, Dave, that you said honor the parents and go ahead and invest $50K.
Yeah.
That's one thing I was going to say. Well, if they did that so you can have investments, well, go ahead and invest. But you went to 50. I was going to say 50-50.
Well, that'd be all right, too.
35 in investment,
that'd be
35
okay, too. I'm just making it up here on the spot. That'd be okay. And there's nothing wrong with putting all of it as a down payment on a house.
No. It's just
but there's just some sense about this money has been built slowly over time as an investment. And so, albeit a bad one. Yeah. So, that's what I would do with it. Yeah. Good question, man. We appreciate you joining us. Abby is on Instagram. Anthony, I'm a 16-year-old, and I recently quit my job due to working nights alone. That was smart. Mm-hmm. I have the opportunity to get right back into the workforce, but I can also spend my time working on my studies for an upcoming test. This test can determine scholarships and college acceptance. Which should I choose?
Clearly. I want you focusing on your tests. While we was walking out during the break day, we saw one of our good friends, and she literally worked every single day looking up grants, looking up scholarships, preparing for the SAT, preparing for the ACT. And when she raised $500,000, Dave, so that came back to like $500 an hour she was making. And so I believe if you can take some time to really focus on preparing for the test, getting the SAT covered, getting the ACT covered, and getting some grants and scholarships on the side to get more grants and scholarships, that is a job, as long as you can do it well. Now, if you can do that and get a little part-time job on the weekends, I like that even better. But nothing should stop you from focusing on your studies.
Yeah, get your grades up. And then use the fact that you've got high grades, not for possible college acceptance, but for probable.
Yes.
And not for possible scholarships, but to put the hustle and grind like our friend did there.
Absolutely.
With it to go get the scholarships. Make it your job. That is your job.
Yep.
And it's worth more than, being a whopper flopper.
If my kids, I'm going to say this now, and I ain't even married, but that will be my kid's job. And if they don't raise enough money and cash in, they're fired.
Oh! That'll work. All right. Thanks to James Childs, our producer, Kelly Daniel, our associate producer and phone screener. That's Anthony O'Neill. I'm Dave Ramsey. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
Hey,
Hey, it's Kelly, associate producer and phone screener for The Ramsey Show. If you would like to do your debt-free scream live on the show, make sure you visit daveramsey.com/show and register. We would love for you to come to Nashville and tell your story.